everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, The Startup Blueprint, where I educate various members in the startup ecosystem on the best ways to build a startup in a sustainable and structured way. My name is Vicky Esquire and I'm your host. And before I start, I'd like to say that this platform is a legal educative content or legal educative platform. So it is important for you to seek the services of a qualified legal professional at every point of your transaction. So now that we've stated that, let's get started. We're going to look closely at the business model of the popular streaming channel called Netflix. So we're going to see how they earn, how they started, how they're able to stream original and also the content of other production studios. I'm sure that by the end of this video, tech founders or people that are looking to have the similar product can learn a thing or two from the model or from the structure that Netflix has adopted over the years. So Netflix is a household name. It's one of the biggest streaming platforms in the world, and it was founded in 1997 by Reed Hastings and Mark Randolph. It originally started as a DVD rental company where at the time people would go physically to rent movies like Blockbuster, but with time things changed and this is how it happened. And this is how the idea of Netflix as we know today started. So the idea of Netflix actually started when Reed Hastings, the co-founder of Netflix, was charged an extra fee for returning a DVD late. So he and Mark Randolph came together and they decided to come up with a company that would deliver DVDs to individuals by mail service. Yeah, so Netflix was actually born out of the frustration that Mr. Reed Hastings faced when he had to pay a fee for returning his DVD late. So he and Mark Randolph came up with the idea to deliver DVDs to various individuals by mail, and this started in 1987. Subsequently, the business of the company progressed into the 2000s, and as the internet era was also progressing and developing, this slowly became a streaming service, and that is the Netflix that we know today. And this completely revolutionized the access of entertainment as we know it today. So how does Netflix actually earn from the streaming service? One, they earn money from their subscription plans. So as we know, in order to have access to the services of Netflix, you have to at least be signed into one of their subscription plans. I think they have about 3, and there's a standard, there's a premium, and there's one other one. I'm sure that there are 3 different. So subscribing to either of these plans gives you various benefits as a subscriber, such as the video quality, the downloading capacity, and also the number of devices or persons that can use one account at the same time. However, recently, Netflix introduced a strict household sharing policy where only people within the same demographic area of the same household can have access to one account, because they noticed that people from different parts of the world were able to have access to one account, and therefore a lot of people were not paying directly for the service because they were viewing their services or viewing their content on that one account. But in this new policy that they introduced, only people that are in the same location, because they actually track IP addresses and locations of the users, so that they know the locations of the users, they know people that are in the same area can actually view their services or view their content using one account. So it doesn't mean that you can't share your account with your loved ones. You actually can, as long as they're in the same location, kind of like the same country. In 2013, Netflix launched their first original content, which is the series The House of Cards. And they did this in order to increase their brand value. It also helps them retain subscribers, and this also majorly helps them to reduce dependence on external production companies or studios. Since then, Netflix has been able to produce a lot of original content, including movies, documentaries, and even children content. Some of the content that Netflix has produced over time include Stranger Things, Squid Games, and they've also co-produced with Nollywood as well in popular short series like Anikulapo and Co. Outside of the original content, Netflix is able to still have access to other people's movies or content by paying a certain amount of money to gain access or license to stream that content for a particular period of time. So we're talking licensing agreements here, and these licensing agreements covers key areas or key aspects of streaming content, such as duration that the content will be on the platform, how much needs to be paid, and other intellectual property aspects as well, to ensure that the original ownership or equity of the intellectual property is retained. So that explains why sometimes you may see a movie or a series on the Netflix platform for a period of time, and then sometimes they actually give you a notice. If you notice, they actually give you notices of when they're about to remove some shows or some movies from the platform. So that means that their licensing agreement is about to expire. Other times they actually use licensing agreements to make sure that that content stays there for a longer period of time. If they see that content is giving their platform a lot of traction, and lots of traction equals more money, more subscription fees, and so on. So from everything that we've discussed or we've learned about Netflix, you can safely say that Netflix is a startup that identified the problem. It grew with technology because it started the streaming platform, or the company evolved to a streaming platform in 2007. And it's still even after it grew with technology, it is still great with technology, because now for those that have updated their Netflix app, you tell that there's a bit of AI in Netflix now, so you don't have to start searching for what you want to watch. It's going to ask you, what are you in the mood for? And it's going to give you a bunch of movies and TV shows that you can watch, which is actually really good. And they're consistent. They keep looking for ways to have a competitive edge over their competitors, and also looking for ways to reduce costs. That's why they're able to come up with the idea of creating their own original content. So every tech startup that is trying to start a streaming platform, or any startup at all can learn a thing or two from the Netflix business model, from inception till now. So I hope you were able to learn something, adapt it to your own business model to ensure that you're building a structured sustainability, because you can see how sustainable Netflix is being over time, and we can say that we're still going to keep evolving and developing their products over time to ensure that people keep using their platform, people keep watching their shows, and so on and so forth. So all this basically means that the reason why Netflix is where it is today is because they built on structure and a lot of planning, because they have their original content, which means that they have writers, they have directors, they have producers, because their movies and TV shows are actually really good. And Squid Games was a trend. Stranger Things is still going on. Like most of almost everything that Netflix produces is really good. So they actually take their time. It's not something that is just done in your whim. And they're still maintaining their former structure of getting licenses from other external production houses. They haven't secluded themselves because they now produce their own content. And that's important too. So that's why it's also important as a founder to always challenge yourself, to learn new skills, to be able to be open to the idea of learning new skills or hiring new people with skills that you don't have, to develop your product, to ensure that it retains value, increases in value, and keeps and retains the attention of your target audience. So thank you for watching today's episode. Don't forget to save, like, and subscribe, and also put on your post notifications so that you don't miss our latest episodes. And also please don't forget to follow us on Instagram, where we post updates about our upcoming events and also about our recent episodes too. If you'd like to make any inquiries or even make suggestions about new topics that we can talk about concerning the startup ecosystem, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram at the startup chick or via email at info.thestartupbps@gmail.com. Don't worry, every information I tweet will be on the screen and also on my description box. So thank you for watching and stay tuned for more videos on how to build a sustainable startup. Bye.